Arizona taxpayers, and that's not very good. All these worthy programs have a price, and the price is one that you and I, are not willing to accept. You know, politics is wonderful. It's a great game. It is wonderful to be involved in it. It's exciting. It's one that some take real serious and some don't even want to be bothered with. But politics is the process by which our system of government works. And if you define politics, you take the word and break it up to poly, meaning many, and tick, meaning blood-sucking creatures. Which brings me to the subject of our current president. This gentleman has more gall than anyone I've ever met in my life. It is unbelievable the stakes that Obama has placed on the table in his first 6 months in office, jeopardizing future generations. He has so much gall. It reminds me of the story that's told about the president when he came back from Arkansas recently. He got off the helicopter and he had 2 pigs under his arms. And the Marine at the bottom of the steps snapped to attention and saluted and said to the president, "Nice pigs, Mr. President." And President Obama said, admonished the Marine and said, no, these are not just ordinary pigs. These are genuine Arkansas Razorback hogs. And I got one for Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and I got the other one for Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. And the Marine snapped to attention and saluted and said, "Yes, sir, Mr. President. Excellent trade." Well, the size of this gamble that this president and this administration and this Congress is taking, I don't know, is staggering, is absolutely staggering. Never before have we gotten into such debt. Never before have we tried to impose upon the American people so many new programs and so many new taxes. I think we're going to pay for this. We're going to pay for this economic bailout. You see, we've been in recessions before. This is nothing new. Every time the Federal Reserve starts playing around with the economy, we get ourselves in trouble. They have no clue about what they're doing. Whatever they do, they're always behind the curve. And we're going to pay for all this money that they've authorized and appropriated, all the bailout of Wall Street and General Motors. Can't you just wait till Government Motors puts out their first car? I bet you stand in line to get that next car. You know something? That's going to be on will call, or what do they call it when it's... when there's something wrong with it.
Recall.
Yeah, recall. It's going to be on recall for a long time. Oh, God. Government Motors. I mean, this is terrible what's going on, and it shows me that this administration and those he's surrounded with really don't know anything about history. Very few of them have very much experience. They probably have more PhDs in the White House than they do have at Yale or Harvard. Yet they're dumb when it comes to knowing about government policy and government programs and the history of government running things. I don't know anything the government has ever run that has been profitable or a program that has worked. I mean, if you just tick some of them off that I recall, the war on drugs started under Richard Nixon in 1968. What has that been? Almost 50 years? And we still have drugs? They're easier to get today than they were 10 years ago or 20 years ago. A failure. The government's trying to run Amtrak. It was put together in the 1970s under Carter. And here we are, almost 40 years, on. They continue to have to be subsidized. The post office lost $8 billion last year.
And my mail.
And your mail. And you were lucky. You didn't need that letter anyway. You know? I mean, it just goes on. Fannie Mae was created to help people that to get into homes, the ideal, the American dream to own a home. But because they did what they did, they enticed people who couldn't afford homes. And as a result, we've had all these foreclosures. That's stupid. You can't do that. Well, here's another program that's failed. The federal government took them over, bailed them out to the tune of $400 billion. It goes on. And if the federal government can't run a railroad or solve the drug problem or run the post office, why in the hell do they think they're going to be able to run the universal health program? It doesn't make any sense. And so I think we've got to buckle ourselves down, and this is going to be an interesting ride. But you know something? I think it creates great opportunities for liberty. Liberty is constantly having to fight and crawl back and defend itself, when you would think that most people, if they understood what was going on, would stand up and fight with us. And I think when they start looking and seeing the price tag that they're going to have to pay, they're going to join the fight. I believe that this government does not belong to Barack Obama. Anybody that takes such risks with yours and my money has got to go. It is our government, and not yours, Mr. President. It is time for us to take it back. Stand aside, Mr. President. America is coming. Thank you very much. Doug said I might answer some questions if you had any, or some suggestions, or what have you. Yes.
This is more of a personal question. What makes liberals, way left liberals, so enticed and so happy with this man who is ruining our government, our children, our lives, our psyches? What makes them support him? Say middle-class liberals, not the wealthy ones like Madam Pelosi, but the ones that are in the mediocre venues. Why? Why do they love him and think he's so good? What can he do for them?
Well,
Because he can't put them on welfare.
you know, the American people, I guess, are kind of a fickle bunch. Most people are not like you. They don't spend waking moments concerned they're concerned about going to work and earning a living and taking care of their family, having fun, getting in their RV on the weekends. It's only when things really start to go wrong that they start listening. And whoever's got the best message is going to wind up getting their vote. There's always a hardcore like us on both sides, the liberals and the conservatives. And then there's the people in the middle. And until election time rolls around, they really don't pay that much attention to them. We lost